Yeah, I don't like your tone going into
so
this.
fucking ready.
I don't feel like you're taking this seriously, and it hurts. Matt, I'm glad I ask you to join me in every adventure that I do in life.
I hope you die a horrible, horrible death.
I will. And welcome, everybody, to the Slasher Smash podcast. I am your host, John, and these are my other co-hosts, Matt and Tiffany. Go ahead and say hi to the guests.
Hi.
Matt, don't say hi.
We are a podcast where we review horror movies. This season, we are doing the 12 worst horror movies according to Rotten Tomatoes. I'm assuming these are theatrical releases. And we're doing a bracket-style tournament to determine which one is the worst. This month, we watched Alone in the Dark and Homecoming.
I feel like Matt is like searing into my soul right now, and I'm a little uncomfortable.
You really do have an off-putting stare right now.
Matt is not himself today.
Wow.
You had the look of a man who could just do nothing but evil.
I don't disagree. That's my normal fucking look, so I don't know what to tell you.
It takes a lot to have that stare, that look, that vibe, while wearing a shirt with Mickey Mouse on it.
Does it? Does it? Does it?
No. Walt Disney was a piece of shit. He created Mickey Mouse.
So you're calling Matt a piece of shit? Jesus.
Matt will call himself a piece of shit, but then he looks over to the screen with Jonathan on it, and then it's like, oh, fuck.
Oh, he said Jonathan. Holy shit.
He did say Jonathan. Not sure how I feel about that one. All right. Oh, man, I didn't even bring up a synopsis of these movies. I don't know how I'd be able to describe the plot without them.
That's okay. If you didn't do that, I'm sure Matt's trivia would help us describe the plot.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make it up as I go. Which movie do you want to talk about first?
Let's recap Alone in the Dark. Let's just rip that fucking Band-Aid off right now.
Tiffany, why don't you recap it? I want to see what you got to say about this. This is our second time watching this bullshit now. It didn't get any better.
In all fairness, if you were not there at the watch party, we literally watched about 60% of the movie because we skipped around.
But there's a lot of parts in that movie that don't need to be in that movie.
No. So basically, recap, Alone in the Dark is a sci-fi horror movie where this one guy, Christian Slater's character, was raised in an orphanage, and they were testing on this orphanage, but yet he escaped. It's been on the rampage for the... I don't even remember what the fuck the tribe...
The tribe?
Yeah, I don't remember that. There you go.
Like a steel
A lot of gunfire, a lot of shooting, a lot of beasts, invisible beasts.
To summarize on this, no matter how much money this movie lost, it wasn't enough.
Pretty sure I lost more in my memory retaining than.
Do you wanna...
Let's go.
Matt.
Questions, Matt.
Matt, I mean, we've already talked about... Oh, no, we'll do the trivia after.
Oh, no, I figured we'd do it first.
Okay, all right, let's do it first.
Damn it! Make up your minds.
As soon as you pull up the trivia, I'm just going to say, no, we'll wait till after. And then when you put it down, I'm just going to say, all right, let's do it now.
So ask your question as you're setting it down.
Alone in the Dark. Trivia.
Dun-dun!
What was the lost civilization's name of the tribe?
Tiakbani?
Yeah, close enough.
What was it?
And that was to you, John. So yeah, it's the Avakani or whatever. I don't know how you pronounce it, but you were fucking close enough. Okay, so Tiff, in the orphanage with the children in the beginning, you know, when they were describing everything and throughout the movie, how many subjects were there?
20.
That is correct. Tiff got it. Yeah. All right, John. The main character.
Fuck you, John.
What was his last name?
Carney?
Wait, what?
Carney?
No. If you want to steal?
Edward Carnaby.
That is correct.
Fuck you, John.
Fucking teacher's pet.
Teacher's
so
pet?
I got...
Bitch, if it would have been the chick's name, I would have been like, I don't fucking know, I'm out.
Tara Reid.
Nancy, that was her name, right?
No.
Was that the first half of the movie or the last half of the movie? Because I think I got two different names.
All right, so it's 1 for John, 2 for Tim.
I could have kept track, but okay, Matt.
Well, fine, you keep track then, Tim.
I would have followed your rules.
For the love of God.
Oh. All right. So
I like trivia.
in the beginning, Edward Carnaby was attacked by an individual. What was that individual's name?
I'm pretty sure this is Tiffany's question.
I mean, it will be if you don't fucking know it, so... that individual, and just to give more description, that was the bald character driving the taxi cab.
Yeah. Gary Landerman?
No, get fucked. Tiff, your turn.
I actually don't remember. Agent 42?
And no, get fucked. Though I will give you some point. Not really, I won't give you shit, but credit where it's due. He was a former agent, and his name was James Pinkerton.
That was the one, Pinkerton. Because I did. As soon as they said it, I was like, Pinkerton. Try to remember that. Apparently that didn't go well.
All right, Tiff. In the beginning scenes, all these are beginnings because we skipped ahead. Edward did not originally, in that fight scene, have a gun. Where did he get his gun from?
From the Pinkerton dude. He stole it.
That is incorrect. John.
I don't actually remember. I was blacking out, apparently.
He got a gun during that part?
Yeah, because he shot him, remember? Twice in the chest.
Oh, he got it from one of the cops.
You are correct. He stole it from a cop.
I could have told you how many times he got shot. Pretty sure it's 3. 2 in the chest and 1 in the leg.
Yeah, nobody cares, Tip.
Fair enough. Understood.
What? So, we started with Tip. Now we're back to John. Tied up.
But John stole that question.
Yeah, he did, but it still fucking rotates, so fucking deal with it, Tiff.
No.
Why is this quizmaster so angry?
I'd like to know what the reward is, because I might not care if you take my points away.
There's no winners or losers.
It's a secret.
You're right, John. We're all losers.
That's fair.
On the ship, what is the part of the arborist stored in?
A gold casket?
Close enough. I'll give it to you. It is gold. That is what we were looking for. All right.
My casket is made of gold.
Gold!
The number of levels of paranormal activity normally are around 3 to 5.
You're right.
What is the maximum amount of measurement that they can go up to?
Technically, are you talking about the equipment? Because the equipment can only go up to 50.
That is correct. Tiff got a point.
I believe you're supposed to answer in the form of a question.
I believe I'm supposed to answer in the form of, fuck you, John!
All right.
Mm-hmm. Also a valid answer.
I know we skipped around a bit, but I'm going to pose this. This is not the easiest of ones, but what brand of car did Edward drive?
Was it a Ford Taurus?
That is incorrect. Tiff?
I don't know cars. Is it a Honda? I don't know.
That is incorrect. He drove a Volkswagen.
I know she did. She had a Volkswagen Beetle.
He had a Volkswagen as well.
Oh, okay.
Tiff.
Are you questioning the question master, you fuck?
What is...
Question master's strong.
What is the name of the supernatural division that was doing the investigation?
Bureau 713!
That is correct.
Does anybody know what the score is?
Tiff has 4, you have 3. John. So, Elaine worked at a museum. What was the first name of the security guard that also worked at the museum that died?
Ron.
That is incorrect. Tiff?
Oh.
I believe it was Rob.
That is correct.
Oh, God damn it.
Tiff is whooping your fucking ass. All right,
you,
Tiff.
John!
Congratulations, you know more about Alone in the Dark.
This one is worth 2 points.
Oh,
shit!
This is a really tough one. This is the last one, too. So, Edward's contact within Bureau 713, his name was Fisher. What was Fisher's wife's first name?
Oh, fuck! I'm not gonna get it. Bernice. That's not right.
Get fucked, Tip. John, what was Fisher's wife's first name?
Fuck.
Love it. Catherine.
No, get fucked. It was Sarah. So
damn it.
that means that Tiff wins 5-3.
Fuck you, John!
Hey, you know more about Alone in the Dark, Tiff. I'm so proud of you.
There is a whole nother movie that John could tie it up.
That is true. John could have been more perceptive for the next one. Anyway, since we're on Alone in the Dark, John, how did you like this movie? Is it still stupid?
Now that we watched it a second time, this movie is even worse.
Yeah.
I don't know how. The scale of everything happening in the movie seems so small. Even rewatching it, it seems like, okay, it's Christian Slater's apartment in New York or whatever fucking city we're in, Cincinnati or whatever. And then, I think at the last episode, Matt called it Uncle Roy's farm. That's exactly what it felt like. You felt like this is such an isolated thing that at the end of the movie, when you realize it's like a global scale or whatever, you're like, no, I didn't get that feeling the entire time.
Mm-mm.
My Uncle Roy's farm is a lot more exciting. Yeah, I'm glad that I made the questions because I don't want to talk about this piece of shit. We've talked about this piece of shit. I don't want to fucking talk about this piece of shit.
Matt did his job. He was the question master. Done with this fucking movie.
Done.
I get the feeling we're going to talk about this piece of shit again because this is fucking horrible.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Yeah.
There's no redeeming factor to this movie other than what I thought was like a 5-minute scene, but
no, you were disappointed actually watching it a second time.
Yeah, the 40-second music video where they shoot a bunch of shit and you're like, right. And I don't understand what the enemies are. Are they zombies? Are they the invisible dog alien things? I don't know.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I think we actually, watching it a second time, came up with more questions. We're like, wait, did this get answered?
The more times you watch it, the more questions you're going to have. The less it makes sense. It's wild. If you want to listen to more about this movie, go watch the first time we watched it. Episode 1. And you're going to be like, yeah, you guys are right. That's a dog shit movie. The scale of everything is so inconsistent. The timeline is terrible. And
there was no timeline. It was a day after another day, and then there was a night scene, and then there was a day,
And understand something too, people. These are not going to get better as we rewatch them. I don't think any of these are going to get better. It's just going to get worse.
After this episode is nothing but rewatching because the first round brackets are now coming into the second round, so we're rewatching.
The second round, we get 4 new movies. So
we do.
Well, but the winners of the first bracket are moving up, so those have to be rewatched.
So if you want to watch those, go back.
The third round and on, we're going to have to come up with like a drinking game or something.
Yeah, we're going to need more than trivia. Trivia was a good round 2, but round 3, man.
I got to say this. So the entire time we were watching Alone in the Dark, I was thinking, what could possibly improve this movie? And you would have to tear the script down and rework the entire plot. I don't think this was a problem with editing. Like, sometimes they'll shoot a movie, it goes into editing, they cut out a bunch of shit, and it becomes something else. This is just horrible writing, terrible actors, and just an inconsistent time and scale for the entire movie.
Yeah, I would love to see the pre-edited stuff.
I think it was horrible from all angles. I think that this is so unique that it is that horrible.
It's just not a coherent one.
All right, do you want to move on to Homecoming?
Please, because all of us, we have nothing good to say about this movie. So let's go and analyze our new movie that we watched.
Well, who wants to do the summary?
Why don't you, since Question Master? I already did Alone in the Dark, which was totally half-assed.
There's a kid in college that apparently he's going back to his high school because they retired his football jersey.
His high school
from the previous year.
Jersey.
They don't do that shit in real life. No. So they go back. He's got a new girlfriend, but apparently his old girlfriend didn't know they broke up. She accidentally hits her one night on a country road after they all hung out. Took her to her house, decided to kidnap her while she was going to win over her ex-boyfriend, and antics ensue.
Typical kidnapping,
We've all been there.
That's how I had my first kidnapping. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I'm glad Matt let you go.
That was yesterday, by the way. But
Wish you would have let me go before all the anal, but that's all right.
All of it? All of it?
All right, not all of it was non-consensual.
Anyway, to the movie.
To the movie.
Side note, I gotta give John credit because being able to find this movie on a streaming service
Fucking pain in the ass.
was a fucking hoot.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna have to check all the other ones because fuck, this
Pretty
is
sure
awful.
John's got some viruses on his computer for how we watched it.
I have some viruses other places too.
All right. Are we diving into trivia
From the previous anal.
Let's do it.
Yes. I hope none of the questions are what the character names were, because I don't remember.
Ooh, I might
Shut
be
up.
able to help.
Shut the fuck up. Teacher's
Fuck
pet.
you. Teacher's pet? I'm sorry. Teacher prefers someone else.
Let's start with, we're going to start with the winner, which was Tiff. Tiff, what was the brand of Elizabeth's car?
The car questions.
Get fucked, John, not yet.
Oh my god, look how much my arm jiggles. Oh. Hey, at the fucking gym. All right, let's keep going.
Alexis. I don't know.
Incorrect. John?
Audi.
That is correct.
All right.
All right. John, what are Elizabeth's initials?
E. SS.
That is incorrect.
Damn it.
Tiff, what are Elizabeth's initials?
I don't know if it's all of it. Is it ESM? Is it all of it or ESM?
That is correct.
It is ESM? Okay.
Yeah, it is ESM.
Nice.
So, Tiff, what was... Oh, God, that's way too easy.
Fuck you! Don't give John all the easy ones!
Please. We had an
I
arrangement.
got the car one! I don't fucking know cars, even if I'd watch movies.
Shut the fuck up, Tiff. I've got plenty of trivia, so... Okay. What was the town that they were in called?
Mount Bliss.
That is correct.
Oh, I thought there was another part.
No.
I was trying to remember the sign that said welcome to, and I'm like, Mount Bliss! Don't know what the last word on the bottom
I thought it was something pit.
No, I think the pit was what they referred to as like one of the places they hung out or went to or some shit.
John, what was the football team? What were they named?
The Wildcats.
That is incorrect.
Shit.
Tiff, what were they named?
It's something with tigers. Wild tigers, that's not it.
I'm not going to give it to either one of you. It was just tigers. It was the tigers.
Oh, really? I thought it was okay, fair enough.
But I do call tigers Wildcats.
Yeah,
Shut the
good
fuck
point.
up. You didn't say tigers. The fuck out.
All right, Tiff. How many years did Mike date Shelby, the ex-girlfriend?
3 years.
That is correct. And
Yes!
That is fucking impressive.
Couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4, but I decided 3.
All right, John, this is also a tough question. When was Elizabeth, Mike's current girlfriend, born? And yes, they did say it in the movie.
9 months after her parents fucked? I don't know. Are you looking for a specific day, month, or
year? Year.
Okay. And then she was probably 19. I'm going to guess the movie 1990.
That is incorrect. Tiff?
I'm going to guess 1988.
That is correct.
Holy shit!
Fuck. That is the same year I was born, so...
He's making up shit that wasn't in the movie, just so you can be right.
Dude,
am
I
not.
don't even remember them saying that, so the fact that I just got that, fuck you, bitch.
When did they say that?
I don't know.
Okay. Tiff, what booze did Shelby and Elizabeth take shots
Oh, for
of
fuck's
at
sake.
the bowling alley?
Fucking nasty tequila.
That is correct.
Why can't I get these
Fuck you, you
bullshit
got the car
questions?
You got the car question because I didn't know it. Fuck you, John.
Yeah, and
All
I
right.
get like, what was the fucking pattern on the bottom of her shoes? And then you're just like, what's Shelby's nickname?
John,
Shel?
neither of us knew Elizabeth's birthday, and I guessed it.
That's
You
bullshit.
fuck.
You guys are texting each other the answers, and I'm calling hogwash on this whole thing.
You are such a little bitch.
I will not let this podcast become a kangaroo court.
Fuck you,
All right.
Waffle Crisps!
John, I'll sum this up. So, in this movie, primarily there were 4 main characters. There was Billy, there was Shelby, there was Elizabeth, and there was Mike.
Yes.
Which of the 4 smoked cigarettes in particular?
Oh, I thought you meant pole. I'm glad you clarified.
Figured it better with you.
Billy? Somebody was smoking when they walked out of the bar, but I don't remember who. Fuck it, I'm gonna say, oh god, but doesn't Shelby smoke? Billy and Shelby.
That is correct.
Good job pulling that out of your ass! I was like, dude, that was the opening scene!
But I could have swore that Mike had a cigarette at one point, but I don't think that's true.
Jeff?
No. Yes.
What was the name of the motel that was full up and could not hold any more vacancy?
Mount Bliss Hotel. I don't remember. It's not right.
Get fucked, Ted. John, same question to you. What was the name of the motel?
If it was a motel, Tiff, it wouldn't have hotel in the title.
Go fuck yourself, John.
That's what I plan to do. All right, it was the Pit Motel.
That is very close, but not close enough. It was Fort Pitt Motel.
Fuck my asshole.
You were almost there, John. Almost.
You were close, but I needed that other word, unfortunately.
Close, but no cigar, bitch.
John, Billy's police vehicle was what brand name a car? A vehicle? SUV, I should say.
Was it a GMC?
That is incorrect. Yep.
Damn it.
I don't know SUV brands.
Just pick one of the major ones.
Yeah, wow. They're pretty easy.
That's the funny that you think I know vehicles at all.
What do you drive?
Well, I drive a Nissan, but that's because I've had my car for 5 years.
Throw it out. What, you think Nissan only made cars 5 years ago? Just throw out a fucking brand.
I don't know. Chrysler?
Ford, Chevy, Dodge.
Tiff, I need an answer.
Chrysler! I don't fucking know!
That is incorrect. It was Ford. I believe it was a Blazer.
Chevy makes a Blazer, not Ford.
Oh, that's right. Okay, last question to John, and it was worth 2 points, but again, John, you're fucked at this point anyways. But for pride...
Did you say 5 points? All right, perfect.
What bar did Mike and Shelby go to?
Oh, fuck.
What was the name of the bar? Oh, I should say Mike, Shelby, and Billy, because Billy was also there.
Was that later in the movie?
Yeah, that was when Mike was drunk and she wanted to fuck him.
Yeah, so not the bowling. Not the bowling alley. Okay,
completely sanitary.
Jerry's shithouse?
It was not. Yep.
Okay.
The Pit. Is that what the bar was called?
It was Pit Bar, yes.
Fuck you, John.
That's not what she said. She said the Pit.
I mean, it was the Pit Bar, yes.
It's up to Matt. Matt's the fucking questionnaire.
No,
he can reject my answer or he can accept it.
It's not like we're playing for money. It's fine. It's just being an asshole.
Actually, we were. You'd have to pay Tip $100 now, so.
Yeah, cool. I'll get right on that.
Actually, you know what? I have a better deal for you, John. Talk to me after.
What the fuck?
It's not... No, I have to talk to you afterwards. I forgot I had to ask a question.
Okay.
Everybody is welcome.
So that is the perfect, segue into this movie, because there was a lot of, I think there's going to be some weird sexual stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it never happened. That was this movie.
Yeah.
This movie made it seem like it was going in a lot of different ways and then didn't really go there. It wasn't bad, though. Okay? I can't say this was bad. The acting was bad.
Well, yeah. But this was probably one of the very few movies that, since we've been doing this bracket, where we've actually all been pretty, interested into the movie. We've been asking questions like, oh shit, that's gonna happen. What about that fuck? What?
It was hot garbage, but it was hot garbage you like looking at.
I don't have any... It's not something I would ever buy or ever want to watch again. I just don't have any complaints that I watched it.
Yeah.
It was the story of a horrible town. Now, I thought the story of this movie would have been way better if the whole town was actually in some sort of league to get Mike to stay in town.
Yeah.
If this was a ruse by everybody to just, let's get Mike, let's separate him from his fucking girlfriend, let's convince him not to go back to college, so let's get him to stay here. It would have been way more interesting.
Maybe not the separation from the girlfriend thing, because again, that whole instance fell into Shelby's lap. She didn't know how she was going to try to get Mike back, but the fact that she had hit Elizabeth, she took advantage that she could hide her and manipulate Mike that way.
No, I'm not saying like that's what I got from it. I'm just saying the plot would have been way more interesting to me if that's what was going on.
But why the fuck would the town want Mike? Why would they go to all that trouble to want Mike back? Where's the why in that?
Why was everybody sucking his dick because he could play football at a high school level?
Yeah, that's great, but to try to kill the girlfriend or to hide the girlfriend, like what's the purpose behind that? Like I don't understand.
I think
I don't really know.
That's why I was saying before about the whole kidnapping. That's why it's like kidnapping the Elizabeth part. I think that was a strictly Shelby move. I think if anything, the town would have been like, "Oh, don't worry about your girlfriend," kind of thing. Like they would have been trying to do it like verbally to separate them, to be like, "Oh, she's no good for you." Like even if Elizabeth hadn't have gotten hit and kidnapped, they could have potentially made it where mom and dad didn't really approve because the girlfriend would take him away. So then they would try to manipulate him mentally into trying to get rid of it. So I could see John's theoretical thing about the whole town being in on it.
I wouldn't say the whole town. I'd say maybe some of the Mike's family members.
Key features.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But that would have been a little more interesting to me. Billy was a fucking dick. All he had to do was drive. So Elizabeth
Billy should not be a cop. Bottom line, Billy should not be a cop.
He drove Elizabeth to a motel because she didn't want to meet Mike's parents drunk. Guess that's valid. But then you just drop her and drive away? You don't make sure she gets a room or anything? Mike doesn't call her at night and make sure, hey, you all good? You settled? Like, these guys are a little bit, disengaged or whatever. I don't know if that's the right word.
Agreed, but also, especially for the fact that the guy hotel manager, or the owner...
That guy's a dick.
Yes.
He actually said this is the one day a year that we book out, like we're fully booked. If that was the case, Billy, being the cop, should have already known that motel would have been booked because it was homecoming weekend.
Provided he's a good cop, which he's not. He wouldn't rent a motel in his own fucking hometown if he has his own place. So he obviously doesn't know what the fuck's going on in his own town. He's a shitty cop, and he has no information on motels.
Although I am glad, because they could have taken Billy's character one of two ways, the way that they did, which I liked the way that they did that, because he actually was jealous of his cousin, because his cousin had everything. He also, like, they made the implication that Billy liked Shelby. Billy thought Shelby was hot and amazing, and he was jealous of Mike over that. So his whole action of being like, brushing it off, oh, your girlfriend's fine, whatever, you've got Shelby, blah, 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 like, I like that they tied that all together, because he could have just been a fucking nonchalant, not cared, shitty cop. Oh, well, this is the best I can do. I don't fucking know, just because I'm a dick. Like, they made a purpose of him being a knob to Mike.
Yeah, they did that. That was actually a really good writing. Side note, Shelby was incredibly hot. Back to the discussion, they did do one of the things that I hate with a passion, and it's when so-and-so gets kidnapped and just kind of stays alive, but then somebody discovers them and they kill that person immediately.
And still keep the kidnappee alive.
Yes, why kill them fucking both? Like, you've already fucked up. Just kill them both. You killed your mom. She obviously killed her mom and held on to the papers for whatever reason you would need to hold on to that.
You wouldn't.
But then she's like, well, I'll just keep Elizabeth alive. No! Kill the bitch, bury her, burn fucking everything.
Yeah,
she even went and burned Billy's body in a fucking burn barrel.
Yes! But you held on to the papers that incriminate you about your mother? Holy shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of, like, why would you do that kind of thing? Like,
it doesn't make a whole lot of sense why she'd want to keep Elizabeth alive. Like, maybe if she was psychologically romantic towards her or something as a result of Mike liking her, I don't know. It didn't make any sense to keep her alive, period.
Other than the satisfaction of torture. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I did get super Misery vibes when fucking Elizabeth woke up in the bed and I was like, oh, Misery! Yeah.
And I don't mean to advocate for serial killers and shit, but as soon as you sent that text saying, I don't want to be with you, I got cold feet, I moved back to whatever city they came from, kill her. Kill her, bury her. You live in the middle of nowhere. Go out to a field, bury her, get rid of the car. Drive the car to somewhere else and call one of your friends and be like, hey, I'm out here, can you pick me up? Drive the car into a fucking river. Whatever you have to do, this all could have been avoided if you would have just killed the bitch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Don't kill anybody. If people listening to this, if you're getting urges, don't. Seek help.
We shouldn't have to put a disclaimer, but here's the disclaimer.
You have to put a disclaimer on everything, but fuck. And I'm assuming that Shelby's mental state broke when she had to take care of her mother. She probably wasn't ready. Mike was heading to college, and she knew she couldn't go with because she was stuck with her mom. I'm assuming once he went and everything happened,
that was
she
the downhill.
snapped.
Yep. And well, I think she was somewhat okay until Mike came back and said, no, Shelby, we're done. But she still had the hope, like, oh my God, Mike's here for me. I still have Mike. We still have our family that we can do. Like, she still had that holding on. Once Mike severed that, I think that's when everything that fell in her lap just spiraled downward even faster.
But they should have had a moment on screen where you saw, like, something snap.
I think that was the weird part where everyone was like, ooh, there's a weird attraction vibe. I think that's the part they were trying to connect that to.
Okay. Well, they
instead
failed.
of it being like a super like, ooh, is this gonna be like some weird attraction thing that she's gonna with Elizabeth? I think that's what they were trying to do though, is to make that connection where she had finally snapped. She had thought about it like, she's in my grasp. I can do this. So
what do you guys, there's obviously something that could have saved this movie. This could have been a good movie. Maybe replace a little bit of the cast, because I think some of the acting fell flat, but what's maybe some aspect of this that they could have changed that would have improved it for you?
From my standpoint, a fascination between Shelby and Elizabeth, where Shelby is trying to figure out what Mike sees in Elizabeth and establish that a little bit better. Make sure that there's a reason that she's keeping her alive, whether that is some sort of trying to be more like her or trying to develop some sort of weird-ass relation romantically with her. Who knows? However you want to go with that, there has to be a reason for that, and you have to establish that. And
I like that. I like that a lot.
On top of that, you needed to wrap it up better. Stuffing fucking Billy in a barrel and lighting him on fire and then
eating a ham sandwich while Mike puts everything together.
I mean, actually, I didn't necessarily mind that as much because she, at that point, she knew that she was fucked. Like, she did know that she had lost everything and it was going to come to a crashing halt. So I guess I didn't mind that too much, but
I don't know if I necessarily got that from that scene.
I did.
I feel like that the way that I interpreted that scene of her going and eating a ham sandwich was that kind of thing where it's like, I think she struggled with killing her mom. Like, she killed her mom, but she struggled with how, because if she poisoned her, you're not really killing her. Like, you're not physically killing her. You're just handing her something that she's going to eat and digest. Like, she's not swinging to kill the mom or anything. Whereas with Billy, she swung the axe consciously into his body, and I think that was the moment she realized, like, I can do this. I just cleaned up after my mess.
I got the vibe where it's like, I'm thinking myself in that situation, I just killed a cop, and I'm going to sit down, and I'm just going to fucking eat something, and contemplate if I'm going to off myself or not at this point. That's what I got.
Offed herself. She never would have offed herself.
I don't think she would have offed herself because she put up such a struggle once Mike got there.
Yeah, she was shocked when she opened and saw Mike at the door. She was not prepared for that.
That's another problem in itself too, because then she was she was aggressively going to attack Mike, which she wouldn't have done. I mean, she wouldn't have killed Mike.
But it was an obsession. Remember, she was obsessed with Mike. Obsession really jumbles that line of, if you can't have him, no one can. Like, I think that's where that was going to start turning, is she would have had, if she would have been pushed, because she, down in the basement when he went to go get Elizabeth.
You would have nothing left at that point, though.
Fair, but that's the whole part of having that mental psychosis that she was struggling with, that finally took over her, is maybe she would have developed an obsession about something else. Maybe, for all we know, if she would have killed Mike, not necessarily meaning she would have buried the body, she could have preserved the body somehow, or kept the body in a room and pretended that her life was all fucking rainbows and ponies with Mike.
That's what I get. She definitely would have put him in. It was like that one. What was that? Beneath the Darkness. She would have kept him in the fucking bed upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Did weird shit with him.
And she would have had, and her psychosis would have shown her that Mike was alive and playing into this whole fantasy that she I think that's how it would have went had she killed Mike.
But oh my god, and I'm going to say this for viewers too. If somebody attacks you and you knock them down or knock them out and hit them a bunch, take away all the weapons they could grab in the near vicinity of their body and keep them and use them against them if they come to. Don't fucking knock them down and leave shit by them like a fucking gun or an axe, for fuck's sakes. Don't do this shit.
In all fairness of the bathroom scene, there was no way for her to do that. That's why I said she should have closed the door somehow, or which wouldn't have done
Back
much.
of the toilet. Hit her in the face, break both of her goddamn feet. Just smash her feet with that toilet thing.
You're also expecting Elizabeth to have a lot of strength.
The back of the toilet thing is very heavy.
No, but you have to remember, though, we don't know how much Shelby had been feeding her. Shelby was trying to keep her bedridden. What happens when you lay for so long? Your muscles start to get weak because you're not. It happened within 2 days, thank you.
Okay, whatever. She would have had strength to continue to hit her with the back of the toilet, all right, or that cover.
I feel the adrenaline rush, yes. I think the adrenaline rush, I think, would give her the strength where she probably could.
I sprained my foot stepping wrong the other day. She could have broke it with the back of a toilet, trust me.
That also takes talent, John.
If you have the capability to beat the shit out of somebody with the cover of a toilet tank, I strongly encourage everybody to do that. But especially somebody who has kidnapped you, drugged you, and tortured you, continue to beat the fuck out of that skull with that toilet tank cover.
I definitely would have recommended at least 2 to 3 more hits after she had fallen over with the
I'd say a nice
cover.
even 10. Nice even 10 hits.
Also, when she saw the bank guy that came by and everything, and she was up in that window, break the fucking window. Grab that IV stand that you're with. You just tip it. Tip it against the window as hard as you can. I know she doesn't have a lot of strength. Her foot's messed up. Break the fucking window.
All she would have had to have done was scream her fucking bloody lungs out. That's all she would have had to have done.
Yeah, and they made it seem like she had, no strength to scream, and it was like, bitch, you're there for a day. You've been laying in bed.
Not to mention, she was knocked out after she had heard the doorbell. So that should be your indication someone is here. Even if you get whacked the fuck out, you're still gonna come to. It'll take you a few seconds to remember. I would have screamed anyway and said, well, maybe they're here, maybe they're not. Let's fucking see.
It's different when you get slapped with maple syrup.
I've got a jar of that. You want me to hit you in the face with it, John?
In the small towns, they use them nice, thick glass containers.
I've got a thick glass container of it, so let's test this out and see how good it makes you feel, John.
Stay tuned on our social medias. That'll be out in 2 weeks.
I think this movie had promise.
Yeah.
I think if it was cast a little better and maybe some a little more of the mental torture of her keeping her there and wrap it up a little better, I think you got a pretty decent movie.
And personally, I would have actually switched the 2 actresses that played Shelby and Elizabeth. I would have switched the 2.
You would have had Elizabeth be the crazy psycho?
Yep.
You just want to love Shelby because she's got that
you really
fat
have
ass.
a thing with Shelby.
No, I just think that I feel like the other one would have been able to play a little bit more of a crazed individual.
I could agree with that.
I feel like the one who played Elizabeth, that actress, I feel has got that twinge in her eye that could have played that role a lot better.
100% agree. 100% agree.
I really did like Shelby being the crazy one because she has that innocent girlness to her.
You just don't like pretty girls.
It's like, no, I hate them. I just think she played a really good psycho because it's one of those where it's like every other person she can charm her way with, but then when you're fucking behind closed doors, dude, that fucking craze comes out and you can see it and it's like, oh.
So I'm curious. I know that we would all slash Alone in the Dark, but would anybody actually smash this movie?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was terrible. I would show it some love.
If there was nothing else on, but this was on, I'd turn it on.
Do I think it could have been better? Yeah, but
oh god, way better.
Could be better.
I mean, do I think it was the worst movie? No, it was entertaining.
The fact that Mike didn't eat his BLT really pissed me off.
I guess what kind of bothers me is that it really wasn't much of a horror movie when everything was said and done.
Oh no, it was more of a thriller, suspense thriller. And the other one was sci-fi garbage. I mean, sci-fi movie.
I think this one was trying to play on the horror of, like, the way Misery did. I'm really going to keep going back to Misery, because I got heavy Misery vibes. Misery was much, 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 much better.
Yeah.
But I think it was just that the reason they tried to make it, they're classified this as horror, is because they tried to make it like, this could happen in real life. Like, watch who you date. Watch the exes of those people.
This is another mental illness movie.
Yeah.
100%.
Most horror either goes with some sort of mental illness that causes them to either be a psycho killer or some shit like that, or they end up going to the supernatural side for it.
This is all one big take care of your trauma. Don't let it eat at you. Don't let it embody your personality.
Fuck that.
Don't let it build. Don't let it build into a bubble.
Drink and bottle it down.
Bottle it down. Push it way down. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Nobody ever listens to Tip. Bottle it down. Don't let it surface. Don't tell anybody about it. Deal with it on your own fucking time.
See you in jail in how many years?
It's like Mike's approach to breaking up with Shelby. Ignore it long enough, and it just goes away.
Yeah, they didn't clarify that. He says that he did, but I don't know.
I think it would have been in the viewer's benefit to be able to know how Mike had ended it. Because him saying, okay, well, maybe I wasn't the clearest with that. I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean?
All right, so I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but who is moving on in the bracket?
Yeah, you know the answer.
Fuck you, Alone in the Dark!
Alone in the Dark. We get more.
All right, fuckers. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you have not joined our watch party to watch Alone in the Dark, you get at least one more fucking chance to go fucking catch it. I know, your friend's probably going to win it, but...
You're going to get right up to the end, I'm guessing, but that is a garbage pile of a movie.
We still have some new movies to watch, so you never know.
I'm pretty sure next week we get Cabin Fever again.
Oh my god.
That's what I was going for. All right. Alone in the Dark wins again. Boy, do they have a strong contendership to win the championship this year.
Fuck.
Yep. God. Thanks a lot, Steven Dorff.
Also, if you haven't been following us on social media, we have updates. If you haven't been updated, we have our own Discord now for the watch party. So go find our socials and find it.
Come post shit, post memes, discuss horror movies. I'm going to start doing, interviews with people about what their favorite horror movies are, shit like that.
We may or may not do the trivia. We'll discuss that at a later point. I liked it, though.
I think we're going to switch. I think, next week next month it'll be Tiff, and then the week after, or the month after, it'll be me. We'll keep switching who does the trivia and shit. It'll be fun. Change everything up a little bit. See who pays attention.
I will not.
Well, I'm going to get the worst one.
I'm just going to keep drinking a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if I said it, but thank you, everybody, for watching and listening and supporting the podcast, and we hope to see more and more people join our watch party.
Join us. We are entertaining.
Matt, what do you got to say? Any final words of wisdom?
Good night, everyone, and if you're looking for any fucks, I've got none to give.
That was much more calmer than I thought.
But according to the phone number and the writing in the stall that I was in last week, Tiffany has plenty to give.
What?
I ran out of fucks a long time ago.
He did. He gave them away at a young age, and he's never been able to get them back. And it's the true life story that we all want to see on film.
They turned me down at the fuck bank.
I have no idea what you just said, but it sounded like you said they turned me down at the funk bank.
No, the fuck bank. Don, you are a fuck bank. Good night, everybody.
We love you all. Bye. Matt, you're hilarious, and I love you.